Well, let's go ahead and take a live shot here.
Okay, here's the president.
And good morning, everyone. As many of you know by now, Supreme Court Chief Justice William Rehnquist died last night at the age of 80. The president, President Bush, is expected momentarily to remark on the death of Chief Justice Rehnquist in the Roosevelt Room. This will mark the second opening, a rare second opening that President Bush has now to fill on the Supreme Court. As you know, Sandra Day O'Connor recently announced her retirement. And in fact, the hearings for Judge John Roberts are expected to begin Tuesday. The president notified about Rehnquist's death at 11 o'clock last night. The president will again be making remarks regarding the death of Rehnquist here in just a moment, appearing in the Roosevelt Room. In fact, let's go to the Roosevelt Room right now, whereas we wait for the president now to walk in. He's expected to speak about 3 or 4 minutes, we're told. Here now is the president.
Our nation is saddened today by the news that Chief Justice William Rehnquist passed away last night. Laura and I send our respect and deepest sympathy to this good man's children, Jim, Janet, and Nancy. We send our respect to all the members of the Rehnquist family. William H. Rehnquist was born and raised in Wisconsin. He was the grandson of Swedish immigrants. Like so many of his generation, he served in the Army during World War II. He went on to college with the help of the GI Bill. He studied law at Stanford University. He graduated first in his class. That included his future colleague, Sandra Day O'Connor. Judge Rehnquist and his late wife, Nan, raised their family in Phoenix, where he built a career as one of Arizona's leading attorneys. He went on to even greater distinction in public service as an assistant U.S. Attorney General, Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, and for the past 19 years, Chief Justice of the United States. He was extremely well respected for his powerful intellect. He was respected for his deep commitment to the rule of law and his profound devotion to duty. He provided superb leadership for the federal court system, improving the delivery of justice for the American people and earning the admiration of his colleagues throughout the judiciary. Even during a period of illness, Chief Justice Rehnquist stayed on the job to complete the work of his final Supreme Court term. I was honored and I was deeply touched when he came to the Capitol for the swearing-in last January. He was a man of character and dedication. His departure represents a great loss for the court and for our country. There are now 2 vacancies on the Supreme Court, and it will serve the best interests of the nation to fill those vacancies promptly. I will choose in a timely manner a highly qualified nominee to succeed Chief Justice Rehnquist. As we look to the future of the Supreme Court, citizens of this nation can also look with pride and appreciation on the career of our late Chief Justice. More than half a century has passed since William H. Rehnquist first came to the Supreme Court as a young law clerk. All of his years, William Rehnquist revered the Constitution and laws of the United States. He led the judicial branch of government with tremendous wisdom and skill. He honored America with a lifetime of service, and America will honor his memory. May God bless the Rehnquist family. Thank you all very much.
President Bush, in remarks honoring the late Chief Justice William Rehnquist, as we noted, died at his home in Virginia last night at the age of 80. He had suffered thyroid cancer, diagnosed in October of last year. I want to bring in NBC's Pete Williams right now. Pete, you heard the president say he wants to move quickly to name a replacement. Clearly, he went through this process already in examining the opening created by Sandra Day O'Connor. So should this move even quicker in terms of us hearing a name?
I think quicker than it took to get the replacement for O'Connor. Yes, that's a possibility. The first question here, Lester, is will this in any way delay the scheduled confirmation hearings for John Roberts? And at this point, we don't know. The leaders of the Senate have yet to talk about this. On the one hand, you would assume they would want to move and get this taken care of and prepare themselves for the next nominee, whoever that may be. On the other hand, if the Chief Justice's funeral arrangements are sometime this week, then members of the Senate would want to attend. John Roberts would want to attend. He clerked for William Rehnquist, and they were friends. So whether they could work around that, whether they'll postpone that, we don't know. Secondly, Lester, the president has a choice now. He can either nominate somebody from outside or elevate someone from on the Supreme Court to become chief. Either way, we'll take a hearing.
NBC's Pete Williams. Pete, thanks very much. We're going to pause now as some of our local NBC stations will be leaving us, while others will continue with the Today Show. For the latest of this breaking news, stay tuned to your local NBC station and MSNBC on cable and the internet. I'm Lester Holt, NBC News, New York.
And now back to more local news. There is room for hope along the Gulf Coast this morning. Evacuations are nearly complete and troops, medical aid, food and water continue to stream into the area. Wendy Wolfert reports from Oak Harbor, Louisiana.
Positive signs are starting to show in the devastated Gulf region.
The situation is improving hour by hour. Nevertheless, we're not satisfied.
One by one, military helicopters pluck the young and old from balconies and the murky waters they've been living in for days. That while convoys of buses rescue thousands of weary evacuees to finally leave the Superdome empty. The process to clear the convention center was much slower as the makeshift triage unit screened for the most in need. Going wherever they can, 80,000 people have found shelter in 8 states. And in Tampa, this group of patients received the medical attention they so desperately wanted. With hope, there is still frustration as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers works to repair levees.
We just have to keep on asking for patience and ask them to endure even more than they've already endured.
The 100-year-old engineering that failed has left New Orleans still 89% underwater. While federal authorities try to get a grasp on the magnitude of this disaster, the search for the living and dead continues. With the city submerged, there is still no way to know what is hidden beneath these waters. In Oak Harbor, Louisiana, Wendy Wolfolk for NBC News.